sorry for a black man to start thinking of himself as black. If you didn't think of yourself as black, you were betraying the race. Black power. Bullshit. What Brown had was brown power. All 6 feet 4 inches and 220 pounds of him. The crowd figured he was a cop because anybody so mean-looking, if he was standing with a bunch of cops and he wasn't wearing handcuffs, had to be a cop himself. Also, there was a little plastic ID card clipped to the pocket of his suit. The crowd, what with the World Series still fresh in their minds, thought Carella looked like a baseball player. They deducted this because of his athletic stance and his long, slender body. They also thought he looked a little Chinese. That was because his brown eyes slanted slightly downward. Or was that Japanese? They doubted there were very many Caucasian Chinese baseball players in America, though, so they figured he had to be a cop, too. A clue to this was the plastic ID card pinned to his shirt pocket, just like the one the mean-looking black guy was wearing. Both men were wearing holstered pistols on their hips, another clue to their identity, though in this city, like in the olden days of the Wild West, you sometimes got cheap street thieves running around with guns right in the open. Carella and Brown liked being partnered together. They felt it was effective against the bad guys. The bad guys took one look at Carella, and they figured, this one is the pushover. It's the badass nigger you gotta watch out for. Whenever they were partnered together, Carella and Brown played Mutt and Jeff to the hilt. Carella played Mr. Clean. Golly, Artie, it don't look to me like this nice young man here even knows what marijuana is. Brown played Big Bad Leroy, born in a ghetto garbage can, shooting dope since he was 6 years old, done time at Castle View upstate, seen the light afterward, and became a cop by way of penance for his formerly evil life. Mean, though. Still as mean as a hooker snatch. You lying little punk. I'm gonna kill you right here on the spot. Save the state electric bill. Get your hands off me, Steve. I'm gonna throw this man off the roof. Mean? Oh, man, real badass. Big Bad Leroy. It worked nicely. The sky overhead was as blue as a newborn baby's eyes. The leaves in the trees lining the path were yellow and brown and red and orange. The leaves under the dead lady were yellow and red. The red was caused by the wound at the base of her skull. This city, Monroe said. You can carry a dead person in a park. She's got a bullet hole in her head and she stalkers. Nobody bats an eyelash. Carella was looking down at the lifeless white body on the blood-stained leaves. They always look all angles, he thought. The thought was short-lived, accompanied by a brief flicker of pain in his eyes. In solitude, on too many occasions, he had sat and wondered why the geometry of death left only angles. "Let's roll her over," Monahan said. "See, she's wearing some ID pinned to her chest." He knew they could not roll her over until the medical examiner got there. He just enjoyed hassling the detectives from the 8-7. That was one of life's little joys. The bulls on this squad up here, they took things too serious. In Monahan's universe, a stiff was a stiff, period. Dressed, naked, stabbed, shot, strangled, incinerated, poleaxed, whatever, it was still only a corpse. And a corpse meant paperwork. In this city, though, the appearance of homicide cops at the scene of a crime was mandatory. The case officially belonged to the detectives who caught the squeal, but the homicide division, like a nagging backseat driver, constantly watched over their shoulders, demanding progress reports at every turn in the road. "What do you say?" Monahan asked, not sure Carella had heard him. "We roll her over. See what she looks like from the